Welkom by Ons Goue Jare met die uwe Andre Walters. Ons Goue Jare is 'n gereelde weeklikse halfuur hier op die gunsteling radiostasie vir ouer mense en hulle kinders en kleinkinders, sodat hulle ook kan verstaan wat die uitdagings is van ouer word. Wel, ek hoop ons is almal gereed vir 'n lekker geselsie en 'n koppie tee of koffie, want vandag se program is propvol baie interessante dinge. Ons het verlede week begin gesels met Pieter Kamfer, wat 'n rekenaar-spesialis is, en ons praat oor rekenaar-fobie onder ouer mense en wat gedoen kan word om dit te verlig. En in ons nostalgiegleuf kuier ons 'n bietjie by Jeremy Taylor, en hy praat oor sy loopbaan, en hoe hy geleer het om Ag Please Daddy te skryf en te sing, waar daardie aksent vandaan kom. Ons sien daarna uit. Ben Kruger is ook weer terug met sy gesprek in ons onderhoud van die week. Ons gesels baie lekker oor die rolprentbedryf en die radiobedryf en so meer. En in die mediese gleuf het ek 'n ding wat ek baie graag wil lees van Steve Jobs, sy laaste woorde. Jy weet ons wie Steve Jobs is. Nou ja, Steve Jobs is die Apple Mac man gewees en so meer baie kleurryke loopbaan gehad, maar 'n baie wyse man, soos wat ons sal uitvind later in die program. En ek lees ook verder gesondheidswenke uit die South African Association for Retired Persons, SAP, tydskrif. En natuurlik, ou Francois is terug met sy boererate. Kom ons val weg. Dit is Profiel. Profiel kyk elke week na organisasies wat daarop ingestel is om ons ouer mense te help. Pieter Kamfer is weer terug in die ateljee met nog 'n gesprek oor rekenaar-fobie en wat 'n mens kan doen om dit te verlig, veral onder ouer mense. So, I don't know how to cook food in the kitchen. We've just moved to a new abode at a retirement village. I don't know where the food is kept. I don't know where the pots and pans are kept. I don't know how to load and switch on the dishwasher or the clothing washer machine. I don't know any of these things. Now, Vicky and I have sat down and we are starting to make a list of the things that she must teach me, because I've got nothing left to teach her. She goes online, she transfers from one bank account to another, brings in funding, pays the bills, and I mean, you know, she really doesn't need me. And that's the most wonderful feeling I have as a man, that my wife is independent.
I think that's another problem, is people, and I'm not saying all men are like that, but a lot of men want to keep everything tied up themselves, and they don't want the other person to be independent. For some reason they're scared. Everybody's got their own reason.
In the beginning, I was very sort of worried that Vicky would transfer funds to the wrong account or type in the wrong account number, and I would have to go to the Supreme Court to get the money back or things like that. But she's absolutely taken to it like a duck to water.
No, but Andre, I mean, as you know, you set up accounts, so for that to happen, to transfer money to a wrong account, is if you actually do it yourself, because you've got all your accounts in there, where you want to transfer to, it's a beneficiary. So all you really have to do is make sure that you pick the right beneficiary.
Yeah, and you got 24 hours to reverse the payment.
That's right.
If you make a mistake.
Yeah, you've got that time. I mean, if you go back to the bank even the next day and you say to them, look, I erroneously did this, transferred it. I've done it where I've paid some of my suppliers, and I was in such a rush, I paid the wrong the wrong supplier.
Yeah.
I then corrected and paid the right supplier, phoned up my supplier that I got it, and he said, no, we saw this money come in and we didn't know what it was for. Give us an account so we transfer it back to you. I said, and within 2 days the money was back in my account.
I had, then you got things like e-wallets. sending money by e-wallet. So I phone my wife and I say, darling, I'm sitting at the petrol station. I've just filled a tank of petrol and I see I've forgotten my credit card at home, but my banking check account doesn't have enough money in it. Can you send me an e-wallet to my telephone account? And she does it like that, tuck.
Yeah, those are all, I mean, it's things that can be done so quickly. And, especially if you're a beneficiary, those things are immediately available.
Yeah.
It's just when you set up a new beneficiary to a different bank that it might take a day or two.
Yeah.
But once the beneficiary is up there, it's
a piece of cake.
Yeah, it's instantaneous.
Piece of cake. Peter, I'm enjoying this, and I'm sure many of our listeners are enjoying it as well. I was wondering if I could continue this conversation with you next week, and possibly then we could look at the fun things that you can do with computers. And also, we might talk about smartphones. I can do my banking on my smartphone. I can call, I can Skype, I can do anything on it, and it's like a small computer in my hand.
It's a mini computer, really.
Okay. Will you be back next week?
Yes, I will be.
Dit was Pieter Kamfer wat lekker gesels het oor rekenaar-fobie en wat 'n mens, veral ons ouer mense daaromtrent kan doen. Volgende week stel ons die gesprek met hom voort. Ek het Jeremy Taylor beloof en hy gesels oor hoe hy gekom het op die lied Ag Please Daddy. Baie interessant, hier volg dit.
This one, honestly, I really didn't think anybody could take exception to this. I was a teacher to begin with in life. And I was teaching at a school in the southern suburbs of Johannesburg. And I was entranced, really, enchanted by the way they spoke English. So I wrote them a song. In their dialect, as it were, or as Richard said, I think quite rightly, their patois. And it had some strange effects because a lot of people were offended, particularly the parents of some of them, who said to me, listen, Meneer Taylor, they said, our Stoffel used to speak very nice English till he heard your bloody song. So, and the government didn't like it either because it was mixing the languages. They didn't want black and white to mix, but they didn't want English and Afrikaans to mix either. So there it was. They wanted purity. Anyway, this was the song, and the kids loved it, and so did South Africa in the end. Ah, please, Daddy, won't you take us to the drive-in? All 6, 7 of us, 8, 9, 10. We want to see a flick about Tarzan and the Ape Men. And when the show's over, you can bring us back again. Popcorn, chewing gum, peanuts and bubble gum, ice cream, candy floss and Eskimo pie. Ach, Daddy, how we miss sugar balls and licorice, Pepsi Cola, ginger beer and Canada Dry. That's the chorus. Music students. Ach, please, Daddy, one footsack.
Dit was Jeremy Taylor met Ag Please Daddy. Wie kan dit nou vergeet, né? Onderhoud van die week. 'n Gesellige en lekker kuier met bekendes. Onderhoud van die week word moontlik gemaak deur Retirement Zone vir onafhanklike, onpartydige en gratis raad oor koop en verkoop en aftreeoorde reg oor die land. Ben Kruger, baie dankie dat jy weer terug is saam met ons in die ateljee. Ons gesels 'n bietjie verder met jou oor jou loopbaan. Dis wat ons lewens maak, is ons herinneringe, nie waar nie?
Dis waar.
Aan gister kan ons nou niks meer doen nie. Aan môre kan ons nou maar min doen. Vandag is die oomblik. Hierdie sekonde is die oomblik van jou lewe wat die belangrikste is dit nie?
Dis hy, presies.
Maar tog, die herinneringe bly en herinneringe aan baie wonderlike mense. Johan Nel was 'n geweldige professionele akteur geweest. En Paul Malherbe. Maar Paul, hy het een aand, nou speel ons in 'n stuk vir Susan van Wyk. Nou sit Susan van Wyk. Dan sê sy, tempo. Hier in die kant, jy weet, met so 'n loud stage whisper. En Paul Malherbe in die middel van sy stuk voor die gehoor stap na die wings toe en hy sê vir Susan, as jy nie hou van die manier wat ek speel nie, kry vir jou 'n ander akteur.
Ja, ek het nooit daai ou garde geken nie, maar ek het baie saam met Patrick Meinhardt gewerk.
O ja, ek ook. Ja.
Patrick het om sit 'n stories vertel van die ou dae toe hulle groot saam met die ander koms, toe hulle almal jonk was, jy weet, hy en Wena Nudee en Johan Nel en daai lot. Dit is wonderlike stories om na te luister.
Ja.
En een van die goed wat ek bitter spyt oor is, ek het later jare uitgevind dat Andre Hugenay, toe hy ophou speel het hy die bestuurder geword van 'n fliekteater in Braamfontein met die naam van die Pigaal.
Ja.
En hy het sy roeping gemaak om kunstflieks daar te wys. En ek en my sussie, toe ons op laerskool was, my ma het in Braamfontein gewerk, nou ry ons met die bus van ons skool af tot in Braamfontein, dan gee my ma vir ons kos, dan gaan ons Pigaal toe, dan gaan sit ons en kyk na hierdie swart en wit kunstfliek.
Ja.
Klomp musiek bly speel, jy weet, met Jeanette MacDonald en Nelson Eddy en daai soort van.
Het jy gesê Andre Hugenay?
Andre Hugenay, en hy was die bestuurder van daai teater, maar ek het dit nie geweet nie, want ek was te klein, ek het nie geweet wie Andre Hugenay is.
Wêreld.
En as ek nou daaraan terugdink, ek het die ou oomie wat daar rondgeloop het en so kwaai was met die kinders, male sonder tal ontmoet, en as ek toe geweet het, dit is Andre Hugenay, dan sou ek iets gesê het, jy weet, laat hom, ek wil ook 'n akteur word, of iets in daai lyn, maar ek het nie geweet nie, ek het maar net daar gesit en die flieks geniet, jy weet.
Ja, waar het jy skool gegaan, gebore en getoe en so meer?
Ek is in Johannesburg groot geword, ek was op Crosby Laerskool, en toe later van tyd is ek help mekaar toe.
Wat is die een ding wat jy nog wil doen, wat jy nog nie gedoen het nie?
Ek het nou al van die groot rolle gespeel. Wat ek bitterglas nog wil doen, is om regie te doen van my eie fliek.
Ekskuus, ek het dit nie gehoor nie.
Ek wil regie doen van my eie fliek, ek wil my eie rolprent maak.
Dis net so duur, jong, om die finansiering te kry vir 'n fliek is skrikwekkend.
Ja, maar ek het 'n plan B, ek sal uitkom.
Ben, baie sterkte met daai laaste droom. Wel, nie laaste nie, dit is altyd die voorlaaste, né?
Dis my volgende droom.
Ja, jou volgende droom. Baie dankie vir die lekker gesels, my ou maat.
Dis 'n groot plesier, Andre, dit was heerlik geweest. As daar enigiets is, bel maar weer.
Ja, dankie, ek maak so. Baie sterkte, hoor.
Dankie, lekker dag.
Dit was Ben Kruger, akteur, sanger, skrywer, 'n man van vele talente. En nou wil ek bietjie gesels oor Steve Jobs. Hy was die hoofuitvoerende beampte en stigter van Apple, Mac en so meer. En ek lees graag 'n bietjie oor sy lewe, wat baie inspirerend is. Sy naam was Stephen Paul of Steve Jobs. Shortly after his death, Jobs' official biographer, Walter Isaacson, described him as a creative entrepreneur whose passion for perfection and ferocious drive revolutionized 6 industries: personal computers, animated movies, music, phones, tablet computing, and digital publishing. Jobs' countercultural lifestyle and philosophy was a product of the time and place of his upbringing, said the article. Jobs was adopted at birth in San Francisco and raised in a hotbed of counterculture, the San Francisco Bay Area during the 1960s. As a senior at Homestead High School in Cupertino, California, his 2 closest friends were the older engineering student and Homestead High alumnus Wozniak and his girlfriend, the artistically inclined and countercultural Homestead High Junior Chrisanne Brennan. Ek skat hierdie countercultural beteken dat hulle het nie saam met die kultuur van die tyd gegaan nie. Hulle is 'n bietjie dwars getrek, né? Of seker maar net kortweg hippies genoem. Jobs and Wozniak bonded over their mutual fascination with Jobs' musical idol, Bob Dylan. They discussed his lyrics and collected bootleg, reel-to-reel tapes of Dylan's concerts. In fact, Jobs later dated Joan Baez. Wie sal haar kan vergeet? Die volkszangeres van groot faam in Amerika. And Baez herself notably had a prior relationship with Dylan, Bob Dylan. Jobs briefly attended Reed College in 1972, and then he dropped out. He then decided to travel through India in 1974, seeking enlightenment and studying Zen Buddhism. Jobs' declassified FBI report says an acquaintance knew that Jobs used illegal drugs in college, including marijuana and LSD. Jobs told a reporter once that taking LSD was one of the 2 or 3 most important things he had done in his life. Jobs' last words were the following: I have come to the pinnacle of success in business. In the eyes of others, my life has been a symbol of success. However, apart from work, I have little joy. Finally, my wealth is simply a fact to which I am accustomed. At this time, lying on the hospital bed and remembering all my life, I realize that all the accolades and riches of which I was once so proud have become insignificant with my imminent death. In the dark, when I look at green lights of the equipment for artificial respiration and feel the buzz of their mechanical sounds, I can feel the breath of my approaching death looming over me. Only now do I understand that once you accumulate enough money for the rest of your life, you have to pursue objectives that are not related to wealth. It should be something more important. For example, stories of love, art, dreams of my childhood. No, stop pursuing wealth, says Stephen Jobs. It can only make a person into a twisted being, just like me. God has made us one way, and we can feel the love in the heart of each of us, and not illusions built by fame or money like I made in my life. I cannot take them with me. I can only take with me the memories that were strengthened by love. This is the true wealth that will follow you, will accompany you. He will give strength and light to go ahead. Love can travel thousands of miles, and so life has no limits. Move to where you want to go. Strive to reach the goals you want to achieve. Everything is in your heart and in your hands. Dis die laaste woorde van Stephen Jobs, wat Apple gestig het. Hy gaan aan en sê, what is the world's most expensive bed? The hospital bed. You, if you have money, you can hire someone to drive your car, but you cannot hire someone to take your illness that is killing you. Material things lost can be found, but one thing you can never find when you lose it, that is life. Whatever stage of life where we are right now, at the end we will have to face the day when the curtain falls. Please treasure your family, love for your spouse, love for your friends, treat everyone well, and stay friendly with your neighbors. Dis die baie inspirerende laaste woorde van Steve Jobs. Ek het gedink ek deel dit met julle, want of ons is nou wil weet of nie, ons is almal op daai pad, né? Dit sal eindig en dan sal daar 'n wonderlike nuwe bedeling in ons lewens kom. As ons nou bou aan ons kasteel in die hiernamaals. Die Here het gesê, my house has many mansions. Nou ja, mens kom op 'n punt in jou lewe waar jy uitsien om te sien wat 'n soort mansion jy vir jouself gebou het aan die ander kant. Ons Goue Jare is 'n gereelde weeklikse halfuur hier op die gunsteling radiostasie. Vir ouer mense en hulle kinders en kleinkinders, sodat hulle ook kan verstaan wat die uitdagings is van ouer word. In ons mediese geloof wil ek bietjie gesels vandag oor die South African Association for Retired Persons tydskrif, SARP, SARP, en hulle praat oor inflammasie en gee gesonde advies. Hulle sê, inflammation is certainly a hot medical topic these days, with experts linking it to a variety of serious diseases, from joint pain to heart disease to cancer. Jy sien hoe staan my vingers. Dis buite van Francois Stemmet se blackstrap. Here are some of their anti-inflammatory diet rules for those of us of any age. Cut processed foods from your diet. The biggest amount of inflammation, maybe 90%, comes from processed foods. If you reduce the amount of processed foods you eat, you will cut inflammation. 2. Slash sugar. If you want a sweet treat, it's better to eat something homemade than something processed. A homemade oatmeal chocolate chip cookie is going to be better for you than one that comes in a package. En Francois, wat ons net hierna ook weer mee sal gesels in sy boererate, het voorgestel dat stevia is 'n baie goeie plaasvervanger vir suiker. Ons het sy advies aanvaar, my vrou Vicky en ek, en ons eet nie meer suiker of drink nie meer suiker nie. Ons gebruik stevia. Dit is baie keer soeter as wat suiker is en smaak baie lekkerder en het geweldige gesondheidsvoordele. So, stevia, S-T-E-V-I-A, onthou dit. En dan sê hulle, try eliminating one food for at least 2 weeks. Hoekom sê hulle dit? People have different sensitivities. Some are sensitive to tomatoes, or get headaches from broccoli, or diarrhea from dairy products, or their skin breaks out. If you think a particular food is bothering you, stop eating it completely for 2 weeks. If you feel better, you're probably onto something. En dan die laaste ene is, try improving half of your food decisions. You don't have to be 100% perfect. We probably make 1,000 food-related decisions a day. If you can improve half of those decisions, for example, eating more fruits and vegetables, you'll feel better, and your pants will fit better. Ek hou van die stukkie humor daar. Nou wil ek die volgende artikel lees uit hierdie tydskrif uit en dis nou nogal mind-bending, hoor. En ek wil hê vir al die jonger mense moet bietjie hierna luister. Hulle sê, your familiar environment, your home. Many children feel that they should persuade their parents to leave their lifelong home and move to a retirement complex. This article underscores the belief that it is better to remain in your own environment until the end. The mind isn't locked in the brain, but extends far beyond it. Dan skep die navorsers, die mense wat die artikel geskrywe het, 'n fiktiewe karakter wat hulle Otto noem, en dan wat hierdie karakter versinnebeeld wat hulle volgende wil sê. Otto, who has Alzheimer's disease and uses a notebook to store the information he needs to guide his daily activities. It functions as an external memory, like a flash drive, linked to the rest of Otto's mind via a perceptual interface. Otto must have it constantly with him, must be able to access its contents easily, must trust what is written there. As the philosopher of mind, Daniel Dennett, notes, many elderly people are in Otto's position, relying on a host of cues around the home to guide them through their daily routines, reminding them of what to do and when and how. Onthou my vriend Albert van der Kerk se gesprek met ons oor tiny habits. baie makliker om jou tiny habits te behou in jou eie huis as skielik in 'n nuwe omgewing met nuwe mense om jou. As their memories fail, they have offloaded work onto the external environment. Taking them from their homes is, as Dennett puts it in Kinds of Mind, sy book, literally separating them from large parts of their minds, potentially just as devastating a development as undergoing brain surgery. Kinders, kleinkinders, dis iets om 'n gedagte te hoor. Nou ja, dit dan ons aflewering in ons mediese gleuf. Dit kom uit SAARP, tydskrif SAARP, South African Association for Retired Persons. Boererate met Francois Stemmet.
André, onthou net weer eens. En ek moet dit herhaal tot vervelings toe. Ek is nie 'n dokter nie. So wat ek vir jou sê, sê ek oor dinge wat ek gebruik het al, of dinge waaroor ek opgelees het en dat daar duidelike studies daarvan gemaak is. Wat ek opgelees het op internet in die soort van plekke. So moenie vir my kom sê later aan, jy het gesê ek kan dit en dat. Nee, 'n mens se sisteem verskil van persoon tot persoon. En iets wat vir my werk, gaan dalk nie vir jou werk nie. Ek het nog nie iemand teëgekom, of althans meer as 1 uit 1000 mense teëgekom, vir wie hierdie gesondheidsgoed nie werk nie. Daar's hier en daar een, waarvoor jy allergies kan wees, as jy 'n allergiese tipe gestel het. Maar, kom ons begin. Ek hou van die natuurlike dinge, en daaroor lees ek dit op die internet. Onthou dit asseblief.
Ek het 'n pel gehad by daar van Willie, en hy het altyd gesê, hy gaan sy seun dokter noem, dan hoef hy nie te studeer nie.
Ja, dis 'n baie goeie. Wel, is dit nie wat nou deesdae gebeur nie?
Omtrent.
Hoor jy, ek wil vir jou sê, ons praat van dokters. As jy 'n oop kop dokter het, sal hy jou help en goeie raad gee. Ongelukkig het party mediese mense tunnelvisie. En ek kan dit bewys.
Maar dit is net mense, jy weet, sommige mense het tunnelvisie en sommige het nie.
As ons nie op die lug is nie, kan ek en jy oor die mediese bedryf praat. En die farmaseutiese bedryf en die dieetbedryf. Maar
ek is op die dieet.
Ek gaan nie
alles wat ek sien dieet ek.
Maar alles wat ons hoor van dieete is nie altyd waar nie. Ek voel daaroor soos wat ek voel oor nee, ek moet liewer stil.
Al wat jy eintlik sê, François, as ek jou mag parafraseer, is 'n mens moet jou kop gebruik. Moenie net altyd slaafs loop agter wat sogenaamde professionele mense vir jou sê nie. Gebruik jou kop. Lees die vou biljetjie wat in daai pakkie is. Kyk na die neeweffekte van daai medikasie. Gebruik jou kop, man. Dis al wat dis al wat ons sê. En dan as daar nie neeweffekte is wat jou sal steur nie, dan gebruik jy die medikasie. Baie dankie François, ons gesels volgende week weer met jou. Intussen, hier is waar 'n mens ons goue jare kan opspoor op die internet as jy graag wil luister na vroeëre episodes. Sommige van die stasies het vroeër begin uitsaai as ander en almal trek nou by verskillende episode nommers. Hierdie episode waarin ek nou werk is episode nommer 36, meen ek. Goed, gaan na Facebook, dit is www.facebook.com//. Ons goue jare, een woord klein lettertjies, ons goue jare. En as jy daar klik, dan kan jy luister na van die episodes. Totdat ons weer aan volgende week gesels. Is dit André Walters wat sê, hou kop, hou koers en hou uit.